3 o'clock.
Okay.
Hello, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
A very good evening to all the participants. Welcome to the third day of Faculty Development Program on Testing and Evaluation Approaches in Online Teaching. I'm Assistant Professor from the Department of Humanities, Bharat Institute of Engineering and Technology. I'm sure you'll find the session quite interesting. Our speaker for today is Dr. Vamsidhar Khilari. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the question box in your Zoom panel. We'll bring them up during the presentation, and we will also have time for questions at the end. Now it's over to Angeline. I just request our colleague, Ms. Angeline Sanchez, Assistant Professor from the Department of English, to read out the profile of our today's speaker. Over to Angeline, please.
Thank you so much, Batul ma'am. Today we have a wonderful guest speaker, Dr. Vamsidhar Khilari. He's an assistant professor of English. He worked for UNDP, United Nations Development Program, and also designed the course curriculum for integrated skills development, business, and technical writing. He taught courses in learning language through literature and English for specific purpose for 6 years at Hawassa University, Ethiopia. As part of co-curricular activities, he chaired career counseling cell and associated with training and placement cell, Witton University, India. Continued in the line of academics, he has designed and taught various literature courses dealing with different short stories, novels, literary criticism, and literary reading, etc. for 3 years at Benghazi University, Benghazi, Libya. Presently, he is associated with Jazan University. Jazan is a kingdom in Saudi Arabia, and using blended teaching for various courses in literature. I welcome you, sir, and I would like to call Dr. Khilari to deliver the presentation. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the nice introduction. Good afternoon. This is Vamshidhar Kilari.
Very good
Design.
afternoon, sir.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay. What about sharing the screen? Is it working?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's okay, sir.
Okay. So testing and evaluation in online teaching. So this is the title of our webinar. So we are all new to online teaching in recent days, right? So how about testing? How do you evaluate your students remotely? So any responses?
You can type your responses in the chat box. If somebody wants to respond, please type it in the chat box that we can convey it to the speaker. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, how do you test your students online? I'm waiting for the responses. Giving them a quiz. Good. Using quizzes. Right? So you're not with the students, don't they cheat? You're not with the students, don't they cheat? So when the students are with you, you know how to monitor them. But they're not with you. They're away from you. They're only connected with you virtually. So how do you avoid them cheating? Yes, that is my question. Limited time. Okay. So within limited time also they can cheat. Their course materials are with them. Their friend Google is there with them. They can send a screenshot to their friends and get the answers. Right? Whole questions between the session. You mean you need to conduct the test only during your virtual lecture, right? Randomize the questions. Good. Right. Randomizing the questions. A good option. I'm looking for something else. Randomizing the questions. Questions should be based on related to the question, not on the content. Okay. Using polls. Amazing. Amazing. I'm looking for this answer. Thank you, Asma. Using polls. Limited time. Avoid backtracking. Yes. So when you say that testing online, people may get surprised. How do you test the students online? How do you avoid cheating in online exams? Definitely you can. Definitely you can. You need to have the skills how to avoid the cheating. Okay, let me go to the slide. So you can't spell teach without a tech. You can't spell teach without tech. There is technology in teaching also. Teaching is also one of the technical skills, right? Do you agree with me or not? Teaching is also one of the technical skills. What do you mean by technology? Yes. What do you mean by technology? What do you mean by technology? I'm waiting for the response. What is technology? Using of computers. Good. Only computers? Computer is one of the technical tools. It's a retrieval tool, right? Yes. No, my question is, what is technology? In my background, my air conditioner is working. It's making horrible sound. Are you getting it? It's one of the aid of the technology, right? Yes, aid. Good. Until now, you have been using teaching aids for teaching. Now it has time for us to use technical tools. Yes. Application of knowledge. Good. Right. Then, let me go to the next one. Who are your students? Who are your students? Your students are digital natives, and you are the digital immigrants as teachers. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir. We can.
Yes, good, good,
Yes,
good.
sir.
So who are called digital natives? They are born during the digital age and always non-attached to a phone or other device or devices. Multiple devices, they are multitasking. And they are intuitive learners. They learn by intuition, not by compulsion. And most of us learned during this pandemic by compulsion, right? We are forced to learn. We are compelled. It's a skill of survival. The pandemic made us to learn how to teach online. Earlier, some of us may be using it in blended method or flipped classrooms. But now we don't have any other way to go. But our students are not like us. They are different. They are multitasking and rapidly task switching people. They are extremely social. And the networks, not in the society. They are multimedia oriented. Multimedia, what do you mean by multimedia? What is multimedia? Do you need do you need to know technology to use the technical tools? Please stop saying good afternoon, good morning. Yes. We don't need. Please. Yes. Do we need to know technology to use the technical tools? Yes. Of course, yes. You need not to master technology, but you need to know technical know-how, right? Somebody was mentioning earlier a computer. What is a computer? It is just an instrument. It's a tool of retrieval. So you're doing retrieval in your regular classroom teaching also. You retrieve your knowledge. You update your course material. You make it better, and you deliver your lecture, right? You make use of your previous papers to prepare your final exams or quizzes or something, and you keep on improving it. And you retrieve the information what you have learned as a student, right? Good. So these people are very much advanced. We need to agree with them. And what I would ask, we are the immigrants. We are new. And we need to adopt the web technologies, adapt. And we prefer to talk in person, physical interaction. Almost 8 years ago, we have started teaching in blended method. Most of my colleagues are very much averse to this type of teaching. So I need to feel my students in my class. How can I teach them online? So maybe one of our colleagues, Dr. Khan, was saying when he started teaching online. So I asked him, what's your experience, Dr. Khan? So he replied, Dr. Khan is teaching Dr. Khan. You're teaching to yourself. Yes, we need students. We need students to interact. But is it possible in online communication? So how do you make your students interactive? For that, you need to adapt new technologies, web-based, cloud-based. So these are all technical jargon. Don't get confused. People may be using different words. Some people may say it is electronic teaching, online teaching, blended teaching, flipped teaching, remote teaching, digital teaching. All are the same. And prefer to talk in person, logical language. We learn in logical methods, step by step. So whenever you start teaching something, immediately your students will come and ask you, Doctor, do you have any app for this? What is app? An application. I'm not having that much time to go in an order. I'm not worried in going in a sequential order. I want to get everything quick. So how do you get response? So we are not that much updated like our students. We are not having that much technical knowledge like our students. We need to agree for this. And then focusing on one task at a time. They are multitask oriented. They can do so many things at a time. Related to technology, you can also, while you are watching news, you can have your supper. While you are checking your mobile, you can drive your car. So why can't you use technology while you teach? So this is adaptability. We need to make yourself flexible and prefer to have interaction with one of a few people rather than many. So they are socially connected. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Telegram, you name it, they have it. But you may be using only one. You may be having limited number of people, but they have many, not physically, virtually. Get info from traditional news sites. They don't need this. They have their mobile. They have their tablet. So with that, they can get everything. So your audience have changed. The people who are learning from you are not like you. So you need to change according to the situation. And then so the gap between teacher confidence using technology has existed for years. So you need to go with weapons. You are a warrior, you are a fighter, you are a soldier. You are making a war. I mean, you are teaching. You need to teach your students. You need aids. You need helping tools. And the modern method is making use of the technology. So the more you have technical tools, the more confidence you get. But ultimately, it's you who have to teach. Can technology teach on its own? Yes. Can technology teach on its own? Please don't type your messages in capitals. It is just like shouting. Yes, technology can't teach on its own. No. It needs a teacher. And behind the curtain, you are there. The play is going on. What is visible before the screen is the product of technology. But who is the creator behind? It's you. Finally, it's you who has to teach. So the recent years, this chat box is troubling me. Yes. The retrieval practice has become a well-known term in education over recent years. I'm going to share this prezi with you. Dr. Batul, if you are there, you can share the link with them in the chat box. Dr. Batul?
Yes, sir.
Please share the link.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. So retrieval. So computer is a retrieval device. You just wonder, how does this computer know each and everything? Yes. So she has given a poll. So if you are able to answer, you answer them. Otherwise, you can ignore them. It's up to you. Yes, we want to see your response. Badul, you share the link of the presentation. I will do it.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Okay, please send your responses to the poll. 2% voted. Okay. Let it be going on in the backdrop. Okay. So computer is a retrieval device. You wonder, you know. So when you ask something Google corrects everything. Even if you type something wrongly as an English teacher, it corrects it, right? You may get wondered, how does it know the correct spelling of these words? Because there are many people behind it. They are called the programmers, right? So it's not a handiwork of one person. So computer is a device that retrieves. So it gives everything whatever you need and whenever you want it to be on your hands. So teaching is also like that. Teaching is a retrieving practice. You retrieve your knowledge. So what did happen last semester? What are the problems I experienced during my teaching last semester this course? And how did I give my quiz? How did I test my students? And by that, you update yourself for the next semester, right? The same is done by computers. Some computers are also doing this. Instead of you doing, somebody else was doing the same for you. And retrieval practice, although the strategy itself has existed in classrooms for much longer, this refers to act of recalling information. So technology is there definitely at your convenience. So we need to make use of it, right? So coming to our title of the webinar. Testing and assessment. What do you mean by testing? It's a technique obtaining information for evaluation. There are many testing tools. You may give a quiz, you may give an assignment, you may give a pair work, group work, a discussion, you may give mid-exam, final exam, whatever it is. Assessment, and we are all the teachers, we know this very well. It's the process of collecting information, evidence, learning progress, and achievement over a period of time in order to improve teaching and learning. And there are two types of assessments. Yes. Yes, look at this. When the cook takes the soup, that is formative assessment, where you check the progress of your students, right? And then when the customer takes the soup, that is summative assessment, end of the course, end of the program. So when you give the final grades, final evaluation to your register of the university or your college or the school, there is formative assessment. Okay. Then coming to the technology. So how do you teach online? How do you teach online? Through your mobile? Through Zoom app. Okay. LMS, good. Zoom is not meant for teaching. No. MS Teams, GoToMeeting, Google Class, YouTube, Flipped Class. How do you access your students in YouTube? You just record or you can give a live stream to your students. You can't interact with them, right? Can you interact with all your students in Google Meet? Flipped Class, good. Moodle, Mentimeter, Edmodo, okay. They are the tools. So somebody typed LMS. What is an LMS? LMS is the tool that you can have the collaborative learning, competitive learning, cooperative learning, blended learning, flipped learning. What are all these? Yes, a learning management system, right? H5P. I don't know what is it. What is the H5P? I don't have any idea. Moodle, yes, it's an LMS. Good. Yes, Cartoon. Cartoon is a gaming testing. Gaming quiz. It's good. It's very popular among the youth. Yes, LMS. So my next slide is on LMS. What is an LMS? It's a learning management system, a web-based digital learning platform to plan, Padlet. Padlet is also a testing tool, right? A plan, manage, implement, and assess a specific learning process. The most important thing, don't get panic whenever you hear new words. That is the first rule we need to learn from this digital connectivity. So for example, somebody typed H5X or something else, I don't know. There is no shame in saying that I don't know. We can learn about it. So we are not in a running race. We are not running with each other. So we are working with different domains. Yes. We can have our time on our own. So it's a learning management system. So there are so many LMSs available in the world. Some are host-based, cloud-based, some are web-based, some are vertical, some are virtual, and some are having the testing, some are not having testing. Some you can give virtual classrooms. So we can't say one LMS is fit for everything. So there are many. Just watch this video, so then you can understand this better. It's a very short video.
Increase volume, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Excuse me, sir. Could you please increase your volume of your system?
Done.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry, most of you experienced audible issues, right? No sound, disturbing. Yes.
Yes, it's not clearly audible, sir.
Yes, yes, nothing to worry. So once the link is shared, you can watch the video again. So the Prezi is a collaborative tool. So the Prezi link will be shared on your chat box. That's what I requested Dr. Batul.
Yes, yes, please. Yes, sir.
Yes, please share the link of the Prezi.
Sure, definitely, sir.
Please.
Yeah, sure,
so
definitely.
Yes. So these are all the things you are knowing. So here we need to compare. There are two types of LMS, open source and LMS. Sorry, open source LMS and proprietary LMS. What is an open source? OES, Open Educational Resources. What do you mean by open source? What do you mean by an open source? Yes, it's
It
free.
is available.
Good. Yes. It's available for free. Good. Of no cost. Of no cost. Code is released, accessible to all. What is freemium? Premium, not premium, freemium. Premium. Premium. Yes, advanced version is for pay. The basic version is for free. It's available for free. If you are looking for better options, if you want to access to all, you need to pay. Right. That is the difference. So open source, what are the open source elements? What are the open source elements? Sorry, you can't teach through YouTube. You can't teach through Twitter. You can't teach through Zoom application. You can't teach through Prezi. You can't teach. I'm asking about LMS. Prezi is not an LMS. Kahoot is not an LMS. Wikipedia is not an LMS. So 46 only voted. Why? What about the remaining? Is it so difficult? Okay. So now I am sharing the answers. It's all learning management systems manage the login or registered users, manage course catalogs, records data from learners, and provide reports to the management. Yes. All the elements, whether it is open source or proprietary. So what is cooperative learning and in what way it is different from collaborative learning? Clickers. What is cooperative learning? And what is collaborative learning? And you didn't answer my question. What are the free elements? What are the open source elements? What are the elements that are available for open source? No copyright, Creative Commons. You can access them anywhere, anytime for free of cost. ILIS. I haven't heard about this. Yes, group together learning is cooperative learning. Good. Students learn from each other. They form into groups and learning. And what is collaborative learning? For example, Prezi is a collaborative tool. Prezi is a collaborative tool. If I share the link, you can update, you can revise, you can edit, and you can do everything to this Prezi. A combination of two, combination of more than two. Yes, yes, huge, good, good. So what is computer mediated communication? All the above, good. 70% have answered it rightly. Good. One-on-one learning are characterized by the retrieval of information from online resources and the fact that the learners can perform the learning task with little or no communication with the other teachers or with the other students. Yes, it's true. So what type of assessment is this? assessment that include multiple choice, true or false, matching, and short answer questions are typically called traditional or performance. What is the right answer? I'm asking you the question number 5. It's invisible. Really? I'm sorry. Can you make it visible to the participants, Dr. Vatul? Okay. Okay, we can come back to them later. Okay, these are the
Just
differences.
sir, I have shared it, sir. I have shared it.
Okay. So these are the differences between open source and proprietary. What about Moodle? What about Google Classroom? What about Canvas? What about Blackboard? In the video, they were showing so many LMS. You may not be able to hear, but you are able to see them, right? So which one of them is open source and which one of them is from proprietary? No? Okay, at the end of the session, you are going to take a quiz. Testing is part of learning, right? We get panic when there is an exam. Not only the students, even we the teachers also. But that is the only way to evaluate the learning. There is no other better way to assess our learning process. Okay, you can compare these things comfortably when you are free. Okay, because we are going to share the link with you. So the next one is, somebody is writing on the board, please stop writing. Yes. Testing in Blackboard. What is Blackboard? What is Blackboard? LMS, good. Open source or proprietary? Is it an open source platform or proprietary platform? Both. Both. Yes, both. LMS Learn, LMS Ultra, LMS Collaborator. There are many. Yes, both. Good. Yes. This is it. If you want to use all the options, you need to pay. Otherwise, you can just register as a class, as a teacher. You can use it for free. Yes. So I'm giving you the first question we started with, how to avoid cheating in our online testing. So how can you access to your students online? How can you minimize cheating? Can you completely make your testing foolproof from cheating even in your regular classes also? Can you say that my testing is completely free from cheating? No. Yes. So if you are not able to catch the cheating, it doesn't mean that there is no cheating. Yes. And you keep on learning new ways how to catch your students red-handed while do they cheat, right? No sound again? I'm sorry. Hello? Am I audible?
Yes,
Dr.
yes,
Vatul?
yes, sir. You're audible. You're audible, sir.
But somebody is saying that they can't hear. Maybe there are some network issues from your side. I'm sorry.
Yeah, maybe.
Yes, yes. So when you enter the class as an invigilator, when you see the students, you rearrange the chairs, you make the gap, you ask them to keep their books and everything away, and then you give your test, right? You take necessary steps in giving your test, right? Because you want to make your test completely free from cheating. The same with online learning also. So there are many tools where you can make your testing completely free from cheating, even remotely. So there are the techniques, there are the tools. You need to work on them. So the same way, how you are preparing yourself to have your lesson plan, even for online teaching also, you need to prepare. Yes, The stress would be more. You need to spend more time. Yes, teaching a virtual lecture is not easy. So messages would be popping up. You get a text message, you get an SMS, you get a warning, a call or something. Doctor, I don't have the network. My system got disconnected. I don't have bandwidth. My network is poor. So many things. So you need to have the backup. You need to prepare for everything. So the students are taking their exam. Suddenly the power went out. So how do you check it? There is no power in my area, so I couldn't take the test. Do you have get any evidence for that? Can you call the electricity people and check whether at the time power was there or not? Yes. That's why we are talking about the pools. So when you are preparing or designing your course, each and every unit, each and every topic of your course is potentially a question. It's a testing tool. You need to prepare. So you need to prepare your course in the way how you are going to test it also. That's why we need to have many questions, as many as possible. Then you are pooling. And you are pooling, the system will take the questions at the random to the students. Even the students are sitting together, they can't cheat, right? They are having multiple devices. You can squeeze the screen. They can't minimize the screen. They can take another mobile or another laptop or desktop and they can check the answers over there. Yes, but still you can stop it because you need to predict all possible ways of cheating. Then only you can minimize the cheating, right? The same you are doing in your regular classes. So when you are giving testing in your regular or physical classes, you do the same. You are vigilant, you are active. You are monitoring, you are walking, you are observing, right? You are warning. The same you can do online also. But first we need to learn how to do all these things. So I have been using this Blackboard for the last 4 or 5 years. We had another platform earlier to this called Jump. There's an University, multiple platforms. Recently we got shifted to Blackboard. So it is completely foolproof of cheating. But only thing you need to know how to do it. So ability to customize test and question settings. Assign specific points to each question. You need not to give the same points to all the questions. I'm talking about Blackboard Collaborator. It's not a free version. It's a premium version. It's a proprietary version. So the government has invested a lot of money on this, thanks to the visionary leaders of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We're very lucky. So we started using it for blending. Even in the pandemic also, we made use of it. Of course, ours is the one and only country in the entire world conducted exams online without any problem. We're not giving freely certificates like in India. I'm very sorry for this, right? So we opened the doors. We can't conduct the exams, so we gave the certificates. That didn't happen in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. That's why we need rulers to be visionary. Yes. And there are many issues behind. We can't invest that much money also. Our governments are not investing, so we are not getting such programs. It's difficult for students in the rural villages, right? Not for the rural villages. First thing, we need to invest. We need to how much GDP you are giving for education in your budget. That is the most important thing. We're running off the fees, you know. That's it. That's a political issue. That's another thing. So as a specific points to each question, you need not to give the same points to all the questions. And allow Blackboard to grade your test. How easy your job is. No marking. No checking line by line, word by word. No roundup. No colored ink. So it could be done by the system. Even create extra credit questions. Extra credit and partial credit also. For example, the student was not able to answer the correct answer, but the student was able to answer somewhere near to the answer. There you can give partial credit. And some questions what you failed, that could be given extra credit. You can also give them. This could be done by the platform. And then, so there are 17 types of questions. Subjective and objective questions, both. Yes. So these are the options we have: number of attempts, course completion, time limits, add a password, display time period, Test availability exceptions. You need not to give the test to all the class. For example, this could be helpful for you when you are giving a makeup exam. When you are asked to give an exam to a particular student. So when you have the pool of questions, you can give the exam only to that student. So you can give the due date, you can give the result and feedback also. Feedback is a process of learning, right? And person's presentations, they can make their presentations. Avoid backtracking. So it would be frozen after answering the question, then only they can go to the next question. They can't take a screenshot and share the questions among. And they can't answer all of them together, review and submit. And you can limit the time. And you can limit the number of attempts. And one question at a time. And feedback. Results and feedback as a feedback as a total of the exam, and each and every question also you can give the feedback. And I have prepared those questions. What are the questions we have? So then you can understand what are the questions available in these platforms. So these are the question types. So how to design these questions. And actually, I thought of showing you our platform, but we can't be able to access it now. It is under maintenance. So I prepared these questions for your convenience. So what are these types of questions? How to prepare these questions? And all these things. These are the 17 types of questions. You can read them at your convenience. So now come to the open source assessment tools. So we don't have such platforms. We are not rich to invest money on these LMS. But you need to use an LMS to teach your students. With tools, you can't teach them. Whether it is Moodle or Canvas or Google Classroom, you need to follow the same. You can't teach on YouTube, you can't teach on Periscope, you can't teach on, what you said, Zoom. You need to have an LMS to teach your students online. Yes. So teachers need to know how well students are assimilating lessons, so not to leave anyone behind. You also have to assess. Time is going, but I am unable to hear anything. Please do something. Yes, I think you have a problem with your network. Please check with your network. I'm sorry. Yes. Yes, what is formative assessment and what is summative assessment? You know this. So I'm going to show you the tools. The best one, according to me, is ProProf. This is the best open source online testing tool. Why I'm saying it is more customizable. You know, you can customize it the way you like it. So most of the free, I worked on them for the last 3-4 weeks of these free apps. So this is my ranking. It doesn't mean that this is absolutely right. So don't trust anything online. So you need to have your own check mechanism. But I have a disclaimer also. So at the time of preparing this Prezi, they are free. But I'm not sure that they are still free. So you need to check them on your own. And the moment they ask you your credit card details, you need to be away from them. So you need to spend money from your pocket, right? So spend your money on hardware, not on software. Okay, you need to update your systems. That is most needed. Yes. We need not to spend money. According to me, my opinion is no need to spend. There are so many good people around the world. They are doing something for us for free of charge. Just like our Bharat Institute of Technology, they are conducting the webinars for free of charge. It's good for both of us, all of us, right? So in the same way, people are giving us a lot of materials all over the globe, and just to make use of them, because before they are asking you to pay money. Once you get access, for example, this Prezi, I have been using it for the last 10 years. It got started in 2009. I started using it in 2010. Earlier, everything was free. Still, basic features are free, but otherwise, I would have shared the complete Prezi for free of cost. But now, if you want to see the presentation, you need to have an internet access. So first, they teach you something, and then they make you an addict, and then you need to pay the money, right? Yes. So ProProf, anybody is using ProProf? Anybody have heard about this? Somebody is saying about Kahoot, Mentimeter. Yes. No. Yes, please try this. There are thousands of customizable assessment tools. No. Okay. And the best thing of this Profobs is, when you are not able to prepare your quiz, just you give your title, you can get 100 number of questions over there. You can use those questions in your quizzes as well. Yes, it's a good source for getting information as well as conducting the test. Both. It's complete solution that can benefit teachers teaching any grade, any subject. Due to number of features, is also popular assessment tool among college professors. It gives a certificate. It gives you a certificate also. It's like just like your Google Forms. So I'm going to give you a test on Google Forms. When you are done with your test, you get a certificate immediately about your achievements. So here in Profobs also, they're limited. For example, Google Forms give you 100 certificates a day, right? So you need to wait for the next day to issue the remaining. Okay, anything you are getting it for free. You need not to spend any money for that. And Profobs is a question. It has a question bank, so you can use those questions as well. Despite having a lot of settings and features, it's incredible how Profobs keeps it easy to use. You need not to have any technical knowledge. You need not to be a professor or a programmer in computer science. You can do everything on your own. And grading and reporting are entirely automatic and done in real time. Teachers can provide instant feedback and monitor learning performance of each and every student. And customize the certificate is a good thing. Students might get surprised if they find a certificate in their mail. A message popped up, here is your certificate. How do you feel? This is an encouragement. So this thing you can do while you are giving your virtual lectures. And the good thing, it could be associated with all the LMS. I tried with almost all the LMS. So you can incorporate, you can get an embedded link and you can put it in your personal website also. How many of you are using your own web link? If you are not able to use LMS, the other way to use teaching online is having a personal website. Google Sites is free. You can create your site on free, and Weebly there is free. So many hosting sites are there where you can design and you can use your website for free of cost. Yes, how many of you are using personal websites? Anyone? So there you have the interaction with your students. So the better alternative for LMS is the best one. If you can't afford LMS, you need to have your own personal website. You can design. You need not to have any HTML language, coded language, or anything else. You need not to be a technocrat. Those who are able to have their fingers tapped 10 times are good at computers, right? 1 to 5, 5 to 10. What do you need to have the skills of computers? You need to have the fingers. And modern times you have the voice messages as the comments will be taken by Siri, Cortana, or something else. You need to have the fingers also. If you are handicapped also, you can do well with computers. Yes. So these are the adaptability. We need to adapt. We have to for survival. Tomorrow you may not be needed. So because of this pandemic, so many of these industries are obsolete. Maybe teaching also. Tomorrow they may not be in need of any teacher. What can we do? Right? Yes. So we need to learn the language of survival. So how do you survive? If you are good at these skills only. Right? Sharing the poll results. Okay. Now attendees are now viewing poll results. Good. So check your answers. So Profobs, and the next one is Easy LMS. It's an LMS but integrated with testing, and it's a free LMS. It's a premium, and you need not to use it as an LMS. You can use it only for testing also as well. Okay, just you need a user ID. You need a valid email ID. That's all. Nothing else. Mr. Renaud one, don't have to use the entire. I don't use it as an LMS. I use it only for testing, and you can share results. Good. Only 24 people voted. Okay. There's about different types of questions, and don't expect all components to be included in one open source tool. So some tools may be good at giving you certificates, some may be good at assessing your questions easily, some may be giving you good results and reports, grading. and some may be good at customizing. So many options. That's why you need to keep on trying all the open source tools. It doesn't mean there are only 10, there are hundreds. So you can try your own testing tool and you can learn something from it. And almost all the interface would be the same. That is what I'm going to explain at the end of these 10 testing tools. Then after EasyLMS, my appreciation goes to Socrative. Socrative is good. It could be accessed on any platform. Yes, whether it is Windows, Android, iOS, or anything. It's 100% free for students. It's simple, flexible, aligned with Common Core standards. And you can get premium version by paying money, but basic version is enough to have. Interface is good. I particularly like it it's beautiful appearance, the colors, what do they use, and they don't have question bank, so you need to prepare on your own. VirtualX, it is from PT Solutions Kitchen. There are only 10 different questions, and it gives you very informative reports, like at graphs and grading, marking, everything would be done. And the most popular one among these webinars is Google Forms, and you know that Google Form is not only for surveys, it is only for collecting the data. It could be done even for quizzing also. You know that, right? Are you using Google Form? Anyone using Google Forms to test your students? Yes. How do you find it? How many types of questions are there? How many types of questions are there? I'm sorry, we are running out of time. Please, short answers are there. Drop down questions are there. Multiple choice questions are there. What else? 11? Maybe I'm not updated. There are 8 type of questions only. Okay, good. So Google Forms is good among teachers because, but there are privacy issues. That's what many teachers complain against it. So everything is monitored. Virtual communication is not at all secured, not at all protected. So prepare this. Nothing is safe and nothing is secured with virtual communication. So be careful. So don't give any valuable data with that. I don't think sharing your mail ID would not be any big issue. So after Google Forms, number 6 is ExamSoft and Read and Quiz. Read and Quiz is my favorite because most of the data bank is about literature. So if you are looking for an open source testing tool with a good volume of questions on literature, Read and Quiz would be of great help. On ExamSoft, recently they have started their LMS also. Even ProProf also started an LMS because this is the need of them to update their businesses. Yes. 3 types of questions in Google Forms. Yes, 8 types of questions are there. And then 8th one, Mentimeter and Mercel-Metal. Some reviewers are giving these 2 very high ranking. So you know that reviews are also having business behind, and your employees will be writing the reviews and they may be giving top rank to them. But they're okay, Mentimeter and Mercel-Metal. And when they say that your usage has been done, you shift to another one. So if they say you can't make more than 10 quizzes with this, you go to another open source. That's all. And the last one is EdBase. It's a new one. The good thing with this, they have both the tests, paper-based and online. You can take a printout and give the paper-based test as well. Most of these 9, you can't make a paper-based test. So the surprising thing, you can't access back your material, right? That's why we need to have the backup. The most important thing in online learning is you need to have the backup. So once you make your materials digitalized, it is lost. It lost its identity. You need to have a backup plan. So anything may that just in the beginning of this session, we discussed the same, even before starting this webinar. So no need to get panic. Everything may go wrong. Your battery may get drained in your mobile. Your network may get lost. Your audio may not work. It happens. So you need to have the backup. You need to have the plan B, right? So if your computer doesn't work, do it with your mobile or with your tablet or something. It's the second assessment tool. You need to go back to the second assessment tool. Okay. So this is my ranking only. It's not an international standard one. Okay. According to my usage, I put them in this ranking. The second one is Easy LMS. Easy LMS. It's basically an LMS, but it could be used as a testing tool also. Okay. So you need to have the look at these things again, and you need to practice them on your own. So if I'm giving first rank, it doesn't mean it stands first always. So for your convenience, for your questions, depending on the type of questions you choose, and some are good for mathematics and science teachers, some are for language teachers, some are for drawing, music teachers. It depends, you know. So it differs from person to person, and the type of questions you're looking. Some are good at, some want to have their questions only on descriptive analysis, etc. questions, short answers. So you can check them and you can answer them. You can evaluate them later, and you can release the grades later, like that. And some people want to do everything in one go. The system has to check each and everything. So those apps are good for them. So it depends. Okay. And then, so these are the 10 testing tools. And then how to give the testing. Yes, how does an online system work? Look at this, I just gave them in 3 steps. With different exam software systems vary slightly in terms of their functionality. Their interface would be same. Some may be having the buttons on the left, some may be on the top, some may be in the right. Some may be having the dots. You need to click on them, you need to pull them back. But all are the same. First, you need to create the exam, and you can have the preview. And then launch the test. And while launching test, you need to select your time, how much time it has to be available, and what type of questions to be included. If you have the pool, so what type of the questions should be included over there in your test. And final evaluation, is it manual evaluation or automatic evaluation? Could it be done by the system on its own, or you need to do it manually? So these are the 3 steps to be followed in each and every testing tool. So computer will teach you when you open the system, it will teach you. Some are having the apps. Some of them you can take only. For example, one tool is just, it will be phrasing ExamSoft. Okay, let me go back to this. I like this. It can switch off the Wi-Fi on the device. So you can't go to Google. You can't go to any search engine. You can't open another window. So automatically the student's Wi-Fi device would be disabled. So these are the things. So you need to explore, you need to work on that. So nothing is prepared. You don't get anything instant. You need to spend time. So that's why preparing an online class or online testing would be difficult than a regular class. Yes. Because there mostly you decide, they depend on your retrieval practices. But here you need to explore. You need to explore. And you need to experience everything on your own. You need to design everything on your own according to your needs, your requirements, your students, your level of understanding, and the level of your students, the reception level of your students, and all these things. That's right. Okay. Now quiz time. Just 5 minutes. Yes. Just click the link and take the quiz. Okay, if you are not able to click the link, I can do one thing. Okay, I will put it in the. Yes, I'm sending you the link. And you get a certificate, right? I want to make it short. Yes. Copy and paste. Why am I want to send it to everyone. Okay, everyone publicly. Yes. Guys, please click on the link and take the test. Yes, feedback link. They will send you. Yes. First answer this quiz. Most of the questions you know them already, and some of the questions you need to look at the Prezi. And Prezi also I can share you in the chat box. Right? Dr. Batul, did you share the link with them?
No, sir. Just in the feedback form, I'll share the link with you.
Okay, you can share it here also, no problem.
Okay.
Okay, please answer the quiz. Please open and answer the quiz. So you can check there are many Prezis prepared by me. They're still available. Just you type my name. They may be useful for you for open educational resources, the testing tools of 21st century. You can use them, copy them, reuse them, relabel them. You can do anything you like. No, I'm not able to type here. Yeah. So this is my name.
That quiz link is not visible to the participants, it seems, sir.
Not visible?
Yeah, quiz link is not visible to the participants.
I shared it in the chat box.
Okay, thanks.
I will do it again. Okay, it's going privately. Everyone, it is going to. Okay. It is
So
going
I'll
to
share it.
Mint.
I'll share it in the group, sir. Yeah, I'll share it. Yes.
Okay. So I'm not able to access it to all. I think I need to change options. In chat, I'm not able to access to all the people, all the
I've
participants.
shared, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
It is already shared, sir.
Okay. So you can go to prezi.com and you can explore. You can access to all the Prezis prepared by me. Mostly they are related with literature and technology, technology plus teaching. Okay. I don't know why can't I access all. Huh? Okay.
Kindly all note that this is the link for quiz, not the feedback link. Thank you. I repeat, this is not the feedback link. This is the quiz link. Thank you.
So once quiz is done, we can go to the questions.
Excuse me, sir. We have an announcement now.
Please.
All the feedback forms will not be sent on WhatsApp or Gmail anymore. Please note that it has been shared on Zoom meeting chat. We'll be sharing it shortly. And all the YouTube users, for your convenience, we'll be sharing the form via screen share. And you can note it down for your convenience. I repeat, all the feedback forms will not be sent on WhatsApp or Gmail anymore. It has been shared on Zoom meeting chat, and all the YouTube users, for your convenience, will be sharing the form via screen share, and you can kindly note it down for your convenience. Thank you.
So in Google Forms, you can get the responses like this. So many, 22 respondents. So far, I got 22 responses. And I can get the summary also. I can see the individual reports also. So what are the questions that are frequently missed also there? And feedback is there. These are the people who have taken the course. Points distribution. Average 18 out of 15. Oh, I'm sorry, my test is so difficult. So poor teacher. "34 responded. As soon as you submit, you get your certificate also. You please check your email. Okay, now let us go to the questions, right? 25 out of 50. Good. Congratulations. Not using Google. Ask Google. Google will tell you the answers. "68. Okay, good. 15. No cheating. You are a genuine student. You may not be knowing how to cheat. Yes, we can take up the questions also. Yes. Any feedback? You can ask me anything related.
Can you please write your question in the chat box? I request everybody to write the message in the chat box.
Okay. Or you can give them mic also. They can make it unmute and they can talk to me also.
So it would be difficult because we won't be able to take everybody's question. That's why
Okay.
we're asking if somebody
Okay,
has any
okay,
query,
no
they could ask. Yeah.
It's open for question answer session. If you have any valuable questions, you can drop it over the chat box. Excuse me, sir. We have one question from our participant, from Mr. Arasu Thiru. The question is, which is the best feedback system to test and analyze the students?
Feedback and testing, both.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I got you.
Feedback system to test and analyze. Yes, sir.
Yes, depending on your course and depending on your students. So, for example, if you are a science teacher, if you are looking for symbols, equations, formulas, and all these things, easy LMS would be better. And feedback is good with Google Forms. The good thing with Google Forms, you can give the feedback for the both correct as well as the wrong answers. You might have tested it already, experienced it. So in your questions, the 10 questions what I prepared, I gave the feedback for all the questions, even though you answered wrongly. And most of the open source testing tools, they give you a chance to access only either correct answer or wrong answer to give the feedback. So feedback is essential. Feedback is the process of learning, right? So, but how much time the student is spending on reading the feedback also important. And for example, with proprietary LMS, you can use the personal feedback. For example, we keep on evaluating their assignments. So those are other things. Assignments, we give them projects. So they keep on uploading the assignments. We need to edit and we ask them to revise it and submit it again. And we have the plagiarism tools also, Safe Search or something. So how much your document got plagiarized would be shown on the system. So we can give the proof to the students. This is not your original document. It has been copied, maybe from the web page, maybe from one of your friends. So these things would be useful. For open source, you don't have open source tools. You don't have that much leverage. That is the problem with the open source tools. But still, you can give the feedback. Okay. Got your answer?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. One more question from Indukuri Annapurna. How to do digital teaching for rural kids, or is there any alternative for it?
A digital teaching means you need to have internet. You need to have the system. You need to have the access on tools. There is no way. Yes, our students are not able to afford that much, right? They don't have good bandwidth of internet, right? So now we need to look for alternatives. Now definitely, there is something missing for us to get connected with our students. What can we do in this matter? Yes?
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable answers. Now I would like to request our convener, Ms. Badul Fatima ma'am, to give a Thanksgiving note to our guest speaker, Dr. Vamshithar Killari. Over to you, Badul ma'am.
Thank you, Angeline. Thank you for your wonderful presentation, Dr. Vamshithar Killari. I hope the participants might have learned how to take online assessment effectively, how to conduct exams free from cheating, and different online assessment tools like Blackboard, Proofs, Socrative, VirtualX, ExamSoft, EdBase, which is paper-based, and so on. We have seen a deep pool for your session. The participants were very keenly and interestingly listened to your participation. Over to Ms. Angeline.
Thank you so much, Batul ma'am. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this wonderful faculty development program. Let me first of all start by giving glory to the Almighty, a resounding success. First and foremost, I thank our special guest, Dr. Vamshithar Killari, who despite busy schedule has found time to this occasion. We are grateful to our Honorable Chairman, sir, for his immense support and encouragement. And also, I would like to thank Dr. Prasad Rao, sir, for his support. My heartfelt thanks to the heads of various departments and the faculty for their valuable contribution, guidance, and encouragement in all our efforts. I owe special gratitude to the English department of BIET, who have worked hard to ensure that this program becomes a memorable success. Last but not the least, I thank you all dear participants for your cooperation in making this event a resounding success. Thank you all. Again, I am announcing that feedback forms will not be sent on WhatsApp or Gmail anymore. It has been shared on Zoom meeting chat. And for the YouTube users, for your convenience, we'll be sharing the form via screen share. And you can note it down for your convenience. Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody.
Kindly fill your forms immediately. I repeat, kindly fill your feedback forms immediately.
So we are closing the session now, and I hope you like the session. Thank you. Have a nice day.